So I said that I was going to do a more in-depth video about these maps right here. So pay attention because I'm about to blow your mind. So you go to Wikipedia on the Pool of Siloam and you scroll to this map right here. Okay, it's a 1730 map showing Jerusalem in Jesus' time with the Pool of Siloam outside the city wall at the lower right. Okay, so Pool of Siloam right here. Okay, Mount Moriah and the temple. What temple? Solomon's temple, because everybody knows Solomon's temple is always associated with Mount Moriah. So that is right here. What is E? E is the royal palace. A, the new city built by the Maccabees. Okay. L, the Mount of Olives, right here. And then K is Calvary, right here. Okay, the gate of Ephraim. North, east, south, west. Okay, just kind of capture that in your mind. This is the fish gate. Okay. Alright, let's go to this map now. Okay, so we're gonna look at it from this angle, this being north. So 1 is the Mount of Olives. Okay. 3, Solomon's temple. Okay. The fortress of Antonia is 4. The fortress is not on this map, but it would be around here. Okay. The Hasmonean Palace is 5. That would be right here. Okay. Temple, palace, temple, palace. Okay. Pool of Siloam is right here. Okay. Pool of Siloam, Pool of Siloam. Okay. Hill of Calvary. 10. Number 10 is the Hill of Calvary. So 10, Hill of Calvary, Hill of Calvary, Mount of Olives, Mount of Olives, Mount of Olives, Hill of Calvary. Alright, let's do this again on another map. This is the book that we're looking at. Okay, but let's look at this map. This is from the brochure of Tel Arad, about an hour and a half away from Jerusalem, or what they are calling Jerusalem. All credits due to Malak Dawayad on YouTube. He is saying that Jerusalem is a much bigger place than we are all thinking it is. And this is pretty much where Jesus' life took place. Okay? So, Temple's Palace. Temple, Palace. Well, Pool of Siloam. Pool of Siloam. The fortress. Okay? And go back to the fortress. The fortress. Okay? Which would be right there. Right of the land of the Maccabees. Okay? Land of the Maccabees. Gates of Ephraim. Gates of Ephraim. Alright. The gates of Benjamin. Okay. So, let's go to 1 Maccabees 12:36. To make the walls of Jerusalem higher, and raising a great mount between the tower and the city, so it might be loaned, that men might neither sell it nor buy it. Okay? This is during the Greek Empire. So, you look at these numbers and they represent altitude. This altitude is about 555. This altitude is 550, 560, 570, 576. This is the highest altitude. This is the fortress of Antonia. I don't think it's actually the fortress of Antonia. I think it's the tabernacle of David. This is the in-depth floor plan of this building right here, and they called it the Fortress Mount. Okay, as you can see, the house of Elishab. Okay, the Hellenistic tower, This would probably be where David's tomb is. This is the Israelite sanctuary. Okay, this is that. Okay, so this is what the Maccabees were talking about. They didn't want anybody coming up here and buying and selling because this was a city. Okay, so where would Zion be? Well, probably right here in the north. Okay. All right, another few pointers. So Nehemiah 3 will validate all of this. Isaiah 8, John 9 is talking about the pool of Siloam where Jesus heals a blind man. Okay. Around the gates of Benjamin is about the pool of Bethsheba where angels come down to stir the water and people are healed. And people also take pilgrimages annually to this well. Okay. Nehemiah 3:1, Eliashib, the high priest, the guy that is right here. He was the one that built the sheep gates. Okay, during the Persian Empire. So we look at this map and it has a lot of history, right? We got the tabernacle, we got Solomon's temple, and we got the palace. And this is probably where Mount Zion is. Okay. So what is this palace that says it's the Hasmonean Palace? Right here, next to the Temple of Solomon. Well, you go to 1 Kings 6. Okay. Verse 2, and the house which King Solomon built for the Lord, the length thereof was 60 cubits, so 300 cubits, and the breadth was 20 cubits, and the height of 30 cubits. Okay, so this is the temple, the Solomon's temple. But in the next chapter, it says Solomon was building his own house for 13 years, and he finished all his house. And that's E. So it's probably around here where he's building all of this stuff. So he decides to make his house, which is now called the palace, next to the Lord's house. Okay? They will tell you this is all Herod's stuff. This is Herod's palace. This is Herod's fortress. 9, it says it's Herod's palace, which is right here. It does say Herod has 15 palaces, but what happened is he probably just took over all of these palaces, which is kind of sad. It says there were 2 stages in destruction of the Jerusalem of the First Temple period. During the first stage, in the 4 months of 586 BC, the city wall on the western side, on the western hill, together with the middle gate, was destroyed, as well as the king's palace and the house of the people. This was the newly royal palace on the western hill of Jerusalem. Okay. And the adjacent house of the assembly, where the nobles of Judah held council. The second stage was when Nebuchadnezzar burnt the temple and the king's palace in the city of David. 2 Kings 25, 9-10. King Solomon built the first temple on the Mount Moriah. Okay, so let's go to 2 Kings 25, 9-10. And he burnt the house of the Lord, and the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, and every great man's house he burnt with fire. So this is probably why we can't find anything. Okay. They are calling this a Canaanite city because they found black civilization ruins. And they just thought it was Canaanites. But that's not the case. This is just a prime example of all the lies that we have been told. Because if you have been paying attention to this video, you can see this is identical to what Josephus was saying.